this dreadful year is upon us, and in traditional New Year's Eve fashion, so begins the listing of things. This is often a rundown of notable moments that influence the course of the year, as well as a list of significant pop culture occasions. Because nothing says you're living life to the fullest like remembering the music you clearly forgot about. And of course, let's remember which TV shows the most of us have watched. After all, there are a few collective experiences the majority shares, so we should take a strange comfort in knowing we all spent roughly 272 minutes watching dangerous lunatics raise tigers. 2020 will undoubtedly go down as one of the most abominable time periods in recent history. Sure, things like the siege of Sarajevo and the Sengoku period in Japan might be worse, but you probably didn't live through any of that shit, so who cares? You can't claim it as an accomplishment if you weren't there, and we were all very much here. Not a goddamn second of it avoidable. Granted, some definitely deserve praise. There have been real heroes during this time who we'll all throw sex at as soon as we're allowed to touch each other again. Doctors, nurses, paramedics, cashiers at grocery stores dealing with panicky toilet paper hoarders. Anyone who told some asshole to put a mask on. I'm lubed up and ready to do my part to thank you. Unless you don't enjoy the smell of coconut, in which case, go fuck someone else, you aromatically tasteless jackass. In the world of music, we got to celebrate wet-ass pussy. Went down a Juice WRLD wishing well, and apparently got some more mumbly gibberish from Bob Dylan. Billie Eilish became the youngest artist to tackle a James Bond theme song. Granted, the tune entitled No Time to Die doesn't ring true 300,000 COVID kills and counting, but that's the title of the movie, so there was no room to maneuver. Taylor Swift revealed she just can't stop making music. However, if you're a musician or any kind of creative, just because she put out 2 albums this year while you did nothing, don't take that as a sign you're a lazy failure. Imagine what you could accomplish with a few $100,000 in music industry professionals helping you along. Let's not forget, a lot of people needed to work day jobs during this wildly contagious pandemic. Being exhausted by work or killed by a disease complicates things like making music. We couldn't all sit in a palatial estate, unconcerned about bills, while writing songs, escaping into fantasy, history, and memory. I guess what I'm saying is, thank you, Taylor Swift, for being a multi-millionaire success, free to generously provide plenty of music you charged us for, to listen to after reality crushed the rest of us into non-functional depression comas. Seriously, I mean, I was disappointed Willow wasn't about the Warwick Davis movie, but Wet Ass Pussy wasn't about swimming cats, and I still enjoyed that song too. Movies took a solid hit in the gonads this year, not simply due to closed cinemas. I mean, wow, what a lot of shit. Looking back on it all, even naming any would be like trying to catch the many bullets we dodged. Suffice it to say, several box office abortions got to sneak home and blame the pandemic for their meager money grabs. Unfortunately, that means there's a horde of mediocre hacks investing in the delusion. They didn't make bad movies. It was COVID that kept the audiences away. As such, they'll probably get to waste another mountain of money making movies no one will care for, meaning 2021 is bound to be another sad year for cinema. Still, we got to see Bill and Ted Face the Music. Some folks enjoyed Christopher Nolan's latest audition for a James Bond movie, and Tom Hanks got to play a ship captain again. Then Borat returned with a very unique retelling of Cinderella that made us all cringe at some uncomfortable truths, sugaring it all the while with laughter. The politics of 2020 can be summed up in 5 words. We're fucked. Burn, baby, burn. Look no further than the United States of America to appreciate what happens when morons elect greedy, vicious idiots to run things. It's possible I just paraphrased the great Jim Brockmire and only regret not being able to more accurately quote him. No matter what side of the political divide one falls on, it's certain that the future is more of the same. A friend of mine recently remarked, we can all look forward to 2021 being the year a Reddit conspiracy theory gets us shot at. However, considering the Comet Ping Pong Pizzagate shooting back in 2016, bullets flying over debunkable internet bullshit, isn't really a change of pace. It's a fact. We'd all wish this year never happened. But even if that wish came true, Wonder Woman would fly in demanding we renounce it. Perhaps she's right. Remember, we can't undo the dark moments of our lives. The past is permanent and unchangeable, but we can look for lessons in the terrible times. This allows us to pull something positive out of a negative. For instance, don't dwell on the damage to your car after a terrible accident. Take the opportunity to realize when your friends say you're too drunk, don't drive. As such, for all its awfulness, hidden throughout 2020, there are a number of silver threads. Slender though they may be, gather enough together, and some value will be in hand. I can't say what silver you may harvest. Maybe the one thing is, you survived. Considering how many people who died this year, so many that didn't have to. Perhaps now you won't complain about nothing good being on television. Being mildly bored is better than coughing yourself to death in quarantine. So appreciate whatever silver you can gather, then melt it down, fashion it into a bullet, and shoot this terrible year in the face. We made it. What happens tomorrow? We'll worry about that when we get there.